skydiving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Good morning. All right, I'm all done sharing. Oh, I'm not even really gonna let my brain turn on today. Just nah. I don't wanna. It's Sunday. I shouldn't be required to turn my brain on. But happy Sunday, everybody. Morning. I went to a meeting this morning myself. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it to myself. I'm not gonna complain. Good morning, Clara Joyce. Good morning, Ingrid. Probably snowing in both areas. Yeah. Yeah, it's winter time. Kind of a lot of weird things going on, isn't there? Snow where there shouldn't be snow, fires happening, all sorts of stuff. Who knows? Who knows? Just something that I've kind of noticed. Good morning, Leisure. It's good to see you. It's good to have you here. Good to see. It's good to see chats working this morning. Maybe for some, maybe for others it might not be working. Oh no. Oh man. Ugh. All right. We are going to be reading out of Courage to Change today, which is Al-Anon. Al-Anon. And it was just one of the better readings. And I don't have enough of a brain today to come up with a decent topic myself. So Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays are usually pretty busy for me, and it tends to zap me. I just have to do a lot of chairing and hosting and meetings and all right. It's a good day though. It's a good day to be sober. It's a good day to be in recovery. It's a good day to have a working heater. Welcome to Daily Trudge. My name is Dion. I'm going to be your host. Good chance that I will continue to be the host. If you're here, please say hello, whether you're watching the live or the rewatch. Good morning, Michelle. It is good to see you. Good to see you. Let me those numbers. We had 13 people in the meeting last night. It's getting bigger. We can thank DACA for that. Thank you, DACA. Thank you, Central Office. Let's get started. I read the 12th step many times before I saw it, but there it was, having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps. What a promise. If I worked these steps, I'd have a spiritual awakening. There was hope, even for me. Yeah, it is a good day for without a hangover. You know, I never woke up sober wishing I drank the night before. That has never happened in my life. When I was drinking, I didn't have dreams about being sober and they were nightmares. All right. Notice when you were drinking, you didn't have drinking dreams. No, because your brain was getting what it wanted, right? All right. So yes, anybody can have a spiritual experience. A lot of us might feel that it isn't for us, that it's great for other people, but not for us. I don't know where that comes from. I did feel that way for a while. probably because I felt so offset from everybody else that, I never got what other people got. So why should that be available to me also? That's the thinking. It comes with terminal uniqueness. All right. Um, I even know some meetings are trying to get a little terminally unique. It's enough with the rules and regulations. The only requirement for membership is a desire to stop drinking. Right. But there's a process that is laid out for us alcoholics that help us get to that spiritual awakening. And I'll probably dip into either the 12 by 12 or the big book on step 12 this morning. If you would prefer one, just put it in chat. If there's a place in working with others or the 12 by 12 and the 12 step you want me to talk on, feel free to put it in chat. Otherwise, I'll probably go to the 12 by 12. Absolutely, Leisure. Now, that's not why I first came to Al Anon. Like many, I came to find out how to make someone stop drinking. It was much later that I realized that my life was missing a sense of direction only a higher power could provide. Uh, a lot of people come into the program expect being taught how to drink like normal people, or they don't know what to expect. But a higher power is not something that they really do think is coming, right? Because of those different things, and it's just not an alcoholic who thinks that way. People that have to deal with an alcoholic tend to feel that way also. God, why did you give me this person in my life that that I absolutely love, but they can't seem to get off the hooch? That's got to be tough, man. Every time I read the Al-Anon literature, I tend to think of the people that gave me all that patience, love, and tolerance while I was trying to get myself sober, right? Those wonderful 12-step words gave me the encouragement I needed to begin at the beginning. Slowly, sometimes painfully, I worked my way through the steps. In time, something amazing happened. I was filled with a sense of God and his love for me. I felt whole. I knew I'd never be the same again. I don't know why it's bringing it up into my head, but AA will ruin your drinking career. Once you figure a few things out in this program, your drinking will never, ever, ever be the same. And you might even get mad about it. You might even get mad. Leisure says, all I know is when I sat in my second meeting, which was 6 years after my first meeting, I saw the word unmanageable on the wall and I knew I was in the right place. That's a spiritual experience. In my book, we probably call it progress, admittance, awareness. These are all pretty much the same thing for us. But yeah, there might be certain things, somewhere in that first step, you're probably going to be able to find yourself. What I usually do when I have somebody that I'm helping and they're new, we go immediately to page 21. It's one of the first things that I read with them. And I tell them what I'm going to do is I'm going to read this. And if you hear yourself anywhere in here, then you might be one of us. And it covers it. It usually gets to it, right? Today's reminder, the step offers me a roadmap for living that leads to a spiritual awakening and beyond. I can't skip ahead to the end of the journey, which can at times be a hard one. Nothing wrong with a hard journey. I mean, look at all the different movies that you watch or TV shows that you watch. If it wasn't a hard journey, if there wasn't, if it wasn't tough, then the show wouldn't even be worth watching, would it? No. Have you ever noticed that in every story, the 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 main person usually has to overcome obstacles by utilizing courage? And the other thing you may notice is they never do it alone, right? Well, this is the same kind of journey. You know, you're going to have choices on paths that you're going to be able to take. One's going to be shiny, it's going to have neon lights or whatever is in your purview that would lead you to think that it's that it's greener on the other side, that the grass is greener on the other side. No, take the down and dirty. That's where the learning is. You know, the more times you fall down and get back up, that's progress. That's progress. The final destination teaches you jack shit. Yeah, it's the arduous journey. When you figure out that humility and character building are the way to go, then your spiritual experiences will multiply. Right? I believe that there's a difference between a spiritual experience and a spiritual awakening. Spiritual experiences are part of my experience and things that I see or do or participate throughout the day. A spiritual awakening is more like an epiphany. Like, holy shit, the grass is green. Remember that? Remember when you figured out grass was green and not a dark shade of turquoise or brown? Remember that the colors became vivid? It's an awakening. You're finding that inner resource. You can finally see the forest for the trees. When you can recognize other people doing things good, better, and different, and you're able to apply them to your life, that's an awakening. What is that? What does it denote? It denoted that you were asleep. Okay. And I'm not talking about being woke. Okay. It's not something I'm not jumping on that bandwagon. Right. Yeah. The step offers me a roadmap for living that leads to a spiritual awakening and beyond. I already read this part. The first time I ever heard the 12 steps read at a meeting, I became very still. I felt I was not breathing. I was just listening with my whole being. I knew deep within me that I was home. Unless you're an alcoholic and then you go, what an order. I can't go through with it. Right? Let's read the short form of step 12 first before we get started. Those are traditions. Those are traditions. Having had a spiritual awakening as a result of these steps, we try to carry this message to alcoholics and practice these principles in all of our affairs. Now, there's a couple things that I heard in there. We try to carry this message to other alcoholics. Sitting on your butt in a meeting is not carrying a message to alcoholics in this sense. I mean, it is. But if you're carrying the message to other alcoholics, that means you're going to meet them where they're at, right? In a literal sense. In a literal sense. This isn't a figurative thing. Where are we going to meet them? Hospitals, detoxes, jail, Skid Row, the bar. They're all over, man. 1 in every 10 people is an alcoholic. Your neighbor's probably an alcoholic. But by practicing these principles in all my affairs, I can tend to do this. Okay? Even the finance guy yesterday, he wanted my phone number, and I put down, and you know what I did? I also put my website. I said, if you know anybody that needs help with alcoholism, send them there. It's what I do. I don't push it more than that. You want to know why? Because I know he's a drinker. I can see it. I didn't see it overly nice. I sometimes you just tell. All right. Joy of living. Are you enjoying your living right now? Are you are you happy that you're even fucking alive? Because we should all be dead 10 times over. Every single one of us. In fact, most of us had dates. Oh, I'm not going to live past 30. Which one was yours? Which one was yours? I know you did it because that's what alcoholics, when we drink, we get morbid. Okay. Oh, I know I'm not going to live. I know. What does that tell you? It means you already knew. It means you already knew you were an alcoholic. Otherwise, why would you set the date? It means that you understood that you were committing suicide on the installment plan. And that's why it feels very, very messed up. Okay. Yeah. Action is the key word. If we are not putting action into our principles, into what we are doing, then we will not reap the benefits of step 12. Giving that asks no reward, love that has no price tag, unconditional love, doing things for other people without any expectation of any kind of return. Yeah, yeah, that's exactly. Or they'll be led to you. It's exactly what I've been talking about. That's why I shut down the group. You know, if God needs me to help, He's going to let me know. But I got to remain open minded. I got to remain open minded. Absolutely. What is a spiritual awakening? A new state of consciousness and being is received as a free gift. It was given to you freely. And if you do not give it away freely, you will not reap the benefits of step 12. In fact, you're going to wonder why you feel like a horrible person, even though you're helping all these people out. If you help someone and then take pictures of it and put it online, you have lost the benefits of step 12. You've decided that you want a different gift. And that is extremely selfish. Okay. And you're only going to injure yourself in that situation. Well, the people that you took pictures of, and, you know, did you ask? If you brag about what you did, you don't get it. You're not gonna get that spiritual awakening. Now, didn't it feel good when that person spent hours upon hours of their own free time to help you become a better person, and all they asked was pass it on. Just give it to the next person. If you think there isn't a reasonable expectation there, I think that would be incorrect. The expectation is that you pay it forward. And AA is the ultimate pay it forward program. The ultimate, right? Readiness to receive gift lies in the practice of 12 steps. You never know when you're going to get the gift. Not only that, but it's a free gift. And what does that mean? It means that we're ahead on our gifts. God loves you, man. Loves you more than you can fathom. I am a finite being. I am not infinite. Right? So maybe one day. I like to say silly things like, I don't want to be famous. I want to be infamous. It's still egotistically driven. I tell you, I honestly believe that's what I want. Man, am I going to get it? Doubt it. So there's a lot of things that God's like, yeah, Dion, nah. And I'm just okay with it because my higher power has never, ever, ever, ever led me in a wrong direction, nor have they ever tested my sobriety. My higher power has never gone out of their way to make my life worse. No, never happened. Now, There's been times when I've taken self-will back and made it worse myself, and then God comes along and helps me out. Yeah. So it lies in the practice of 12 steps, and Leisure just brought that up. You got to practice. You want to get good at something, you got to practice it, don't you? Yeah. Not everything comes naturally. The magnificent reality. What is the magnificent reality? I think that's probably going to be different for people. That's going to go back to perception. Absolutely, I'm grateful you're part of my sobriety too. I'm really grateful for the friends in my life, man. Would you believe that I still have a drinking problem? Yeah, okay. I have a drinking problem. All right. A little distraction to bring you back in. Okay. So what is the magnificent reality? Well, it's rewards of helping other alcoholic. Kinds of 12-step work. There's a lot of different kinds of 12-step work. Okay. I do not believe that sponsoring is 12-step work. That is opinion only. I keep it separate. I have my service work, and then I have people that I help. And these are different for me. If you want to combine them and that works for you too, then fuck do it. Okay. There's no wrong way to do this part as long as you're doing the work. Okay. Rewards. So kinds of 12-step work. Okay. Well, it's going to depend. Thanks, Leisure. There's a lot of different 12-step work. I've been noticing that people aren't doing it though. Okay. Grassroots meeting. I'm the only one that's been chairing. Other people got to chair, man. I made the format. All you got to do is read it. It's pretty straightforward. Nothing in there that's going to hurt you. Okay. But I'm not going to force people to do it either. I'm not here to force people to do service work. But I'm a big 8th tradition guy where I love to create service work according to your passion. See, you can utilize your passion. What's my passion? The homeless. Right? And that's where I stick. I got to be in my lane. I got to be in my lane. And what's my lane? Alcoholism. Alcoholism is my lane. Okay? I have resources for other kinds of addiction, you bet. But there is different kinds of 12-step work. Okay? Now there's service work and then there's 12-step work. Service work means you're helping people out. 12-step work has more to do with alcoholics directly. Going and serving the homeless is service work, right? I'm just trying to figure it out. I don't know. I don't know that that's set in stone. I just, when it's one alcoholic that, if I have a choice to help an alcoholic or a non-alcoholic, unless it's my wife, I'm going for the alcoholic. Yes, I am. It doesn't mean I will not help the other person, but maybe I'm not the best person. Maybe, just maybe, I'm not the best person for that. AA is not a cure-all for all the other diseases, man. It is not. Okay? And there we are, back to lanes. Okay? AA, alcoholics, NA, drug addiction. Those are the lanes. Okay? And you got to keep them separated. I'm really good at air guitar. So. Meow. Oh, there's going to be a cat jumping on my lap here in a second. I didn't realize the short form was going to take so long, but it's working out really well, man. Problems of 12-step work. What about the practice these principles in all our affairs? Yes, all of them. including the people you don't like. Let's talk about like and love. Because I love everyone. There's only one requirement for me to love you, that you are a child of God. And I consider animals God's children also, just so you know. Yes, I do. Okay. That's the only requirement. I don't need anything. Why? Because God loved me freely. That's why. Now, liking you actually takes more effort. Liking somebody takes a little bit more effort for me. So what do I do? What in that instance, what can Dion do to change his mindset so that he can hear somebody else talking and not ignore them because they're annoying me? Because you can't go to God and say, "Hey God, I need help with this. Can you give me some direction?" And then not listen to his children. Cats are tearing it up today. Today's just going to be a day of me picking up after the fucking cats. Thankfully, my house is cat proof. Right? So, what do? I guess I should answer that. I look for something in them that I can appreciate. I do the opposite of what my mind thinks it should do in that case. Right? It happened this morning. I went to a meeting, and the first thing that they did was everybody got to do some saying, whether it was from the big book or it was from any, and there were scriptures, and I'm like, yeah, this is not. This is actually what happened. I went to one meeting. I was the only person in the Zoom room. Everybody else was in person. I'm like, no, I don't feel like being singled out. I left. I tried 2 other ones. Those meetings no longer exist. Okay. If you run a meeting and you cancel it, you got to tell, part of the responsibility is telling, because what if I really needed a fucking meeting this morning and I tried 2 and then I'm like, oh God, we'll see. I'm not even trying. I tried and you failed me, because that's alcoholics thinking for you, right? It's alcoholics thinking. I'm like, nah, I'm just going to keep going. I am going to it is now that I know that those meetings aren't valid. It's an invalid meeting ID. I'm going to write to the central office, say these meetings are not going anymore, and help them out. Or I could bitch. Right? But I got to that meeting, and so it came to me, and I said, rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. And I was trying to say something. That I didn't come here to listen to church shit. Okay? No, I did not. Now, if you're going to, and then the topic was, how's your recovery today? I'm like, what is this? Celebrate recovery, man? I let God determine my worth. I don't know how my recovery is today compared to what? Because all I can really do is compare to what? Me, from yesterday or from the past. Am I doing better today than I was yesterday? I got to say, no, I'm doing just as well as I was yesterday. But I don't know that. So I let God determine my worth. When I do it, I will sell myself short. And then I won't get these free gifts that come along. And can you practice these principles in all your affairs? So yeah, even the people that get on you. Monotony, pain, and calamity turn to good use by practicing 12 steps. Okay. That is the process of replacement. Yeah. Right. Yeah, you all know about my car, things like that. Yes. I wasn't mean to anybody. And the plan was chewing people's asses. But I was driving there and I'm like, do they really need my wrath? Because it wouldn't just include what happened there. It would include everything that happened during the week. Okay. And then I came to the conclusion that God was fixing my car so I didn't have to pay for it. It's a gift. But if I would have been angry, I wouldn't have gotten the gift. It still would happen, but I wouldn't have seen it for what it was. And I don't know when I'm going to get my car back. And I got plans this week, actual plans of leaving the house. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do them. I hope I have it by Friday. It's a big day for me. And it's a payday. You know, they pay me pretty decently to go work on this stuff. Thank you, God. Okay. And I was even talked to them on Friday. They're helping me out with some things, and they're like, you can leave after half the day if you want, or even after the break. And I told them I'll probably stick around for a few reasons. Number one, I know it's going to be boring, but I want to understand what's going on. Number two, I want the money. So monotony pain clinic turned to good use. Difficulties of practicing two-stepping. Switch to 12-stepping. What is two-stepping? It is not just a country dance, although it is. The two-step is a country dance. Okay. It's also called the electric slide. Right? Can you feel it? It's electric. Boogie, woogie, woogie, woogie. Do a little dancing and singing here. I'm an entertainer. So. Did you know earlier when I was talking about the stories and stuff, I was talking about Lord of the Rings. That's what went through my mind. Okay. Two-stepping is doing 1 and 12, and that's it. You'll see it a lot. You'll see it. You'll see it because the 12 stepping only happens in that 1 hour group. Then you'll see him out there in a car. You want to know somebody's true personality? Get in the car with them and let them drive. Get on the highway. Go through some traffic. Let them be inconvenienced and see what they do. And you will have the real person. You getting angry when you're getting in your car? Well, that's not practicing principles in all of your affairs, is it? Can't be running around. Maybe that person that cut you off. And have you ever been in an emergency where somebody was in the hospital, and if you didn't get there in time, then you wouldn't have been able to say goodbye before they died? I have. You ever had somebody in your car that's going through a medical emergency and it's quicker to drive to the hospital than it is to call 911? Because I have. Yes, I have. You never know. That is the second time somebody has brought up cherry bomb this week, except it was when it was Decadence or something like that. But yeah, one of the worst places to go. No. I did not do the electric boogaloo at the cherry bomb, but that is going to lead me to Joan Jett. Hello, mother. Hello, dad. I'm your cherry bomb. All right. Two-stepping, switch to 12-stepping in demonstration of faith. Growing spiritual is the answer to our problems. Isn't it nice to just have it given to you? Because it just did. Spiritual growth. If you take care of the spiritual malady, this has been my experience. When I take care of my spiritual malady, the answers come. They just come. They appear. I become better. Placing spiritual growth first, domination over dependence. That's emotional sobriety. Putting our lives on a give and take basis. Now, if we put our lives on a give and take basis, I was at the Deadbeat, but I think I told you that story. When I went to Deadbeat, I was 7, 8 years sober. Yeah, I was sober. The thing is like when I got sober at 18, I never drank in a bar. So going to a bar was not a big deal for me. It was the same as everything else. But yeah, I was a deadbeat a lot. Good call. Boogie woogie woogie. Yeah, I'm not even going to go into it. My friends and I came up with the idea of having different levels for different musics back in 1986, 87, but we weren't old enough to rent anything, so they wouldn't let us have it. Anyway, domination over dependence upon God necessary to recovery of alcoholics practicing these principles in all of our affairs. They said it again. Oh, we're talking about putting our lives on a give and take basis. Well, if we put our lives on a give and take basis, what does that mean? Because it kind of goes against that freely given, isn't it? Doesn't it all of a sudden, okay, wait a minute, give and take basis. Well, now there's expectations in relationship. God. This is the way I see it. And I know people are, I give 100%. I'm going to tell you something. If you give 100%, you are failing. You're codependent if you're giving 100%. Okay. Sometimes you have to stop and take. Right? I use my wife and I as an example. It's a 50-50 thing. I give 50% and I take 50%. If both sides are just giving 100%, because if I did 100% taking, you'd understand it because that's how alcoholics work. Okay. But if I give 100% all the time, then what I'm doing is I'm not appreciating what my friends are giving me, and they will go away. Yes, they will. It's a give and take basis. Okay. So it isn't so much that we have an expectation coming back, but I have found that healthy relationships are 50% give, 50% take. Okay. What's another way that we say that? We're not all sick on the same day. That would go with it. I think the kids have the heat turned up to fucking 90 or something because it's hot in here. And then I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to check it. It's going to be like 72, which means that my blood pressure is too high. Probably what that'll mean. All right. Domestic relations in AA. Outlook upon material matters change. There's a lot of people in the program that have money. There's a lot of money in AA, right? But it's an even playing field. This person's broke. This person's rich. They both put $1 in. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay. Now there's sometimes I remember there was this one guy, and go to the meetings in his home theater and just keep it like, look at this. You see everything that I got. That shit. So what did I do? I found something I liked in him. Outlook upon material matters change. So do feelings about personal importance. I don't need to be important anymore. I already am. I am. How am I important? Well, I can help when no one else can, man. That's pretty important. I'm chosen. My importance. See, now if I would have determined the worth, I would have never gotten that gift. No. Instincts restored to true purpose. Understanding is key to right attitudes. Right action is key to good living. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. I appreciate everybody being here. Go Bills. Fuck the Chiefs. Actually, I don't really so much mind the Chiefs as much as I do Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Something about that kid just bothers me. I don't know. Anyway, Just remember that when you're watching the game, it is for entertainment purposes only. All right. All right. I hope you have a great day. Have a safe day. Have a warm day. I love you. You know I do. You're a child of God. You know I do. I love you. Peace out. And we'll go with Michelle here. And have a great day.